Mello TV Sports gets out of the block with some track and field news as Peterfield High School's Antonio Watson has issued an apology for his celebrations after winning the Class 1 Boys 200-meter final at the ISA Boys and Girls Athletics Championship at the National Stadium on Saturday. Now, Watson mimicked firing a gun at his opponents, which has drawn much public criticism. In his written apology, Watson said that his gesture could have been misleading and that he has no desire to negatively influence others. He stopped the clock at 20.74 seconds to win the event ahead of Edwin Allen's Brian Level 20.83 and Adrian Kerr of Kingston College 21.31 seconds. Meanwhile, American triple jumper Omar Craddock has been banned for 20 months over missed doping tests and will miss the Tokyo Olympic Games and the 2022 World Championships in Oregon. Track and Field's Athletics Integrity Unit AIU alleged the 2019 Pan American Games champion broke anti-doping rules with 3 violations of the whereabouts rule in a 12-month period. Lawyers for Craddock argued at a tribunal hearing that he had been in preoccupied mental state last year, citing the Olympics being postponed and the murder of George Floyd. The first violation was in August of 2019, when he was the world's number 3 ranked triple jumper behind fellow Americans Will Clay and Christian Taylor. Craddock leaped a lifetime best 17.68 meters that same season. Craddock was unavailable to give samples in no-notice visits by anti-doping officials in August 2019, July 2020, and did not update details of where he could have been found in June of last year. We bowl over to cricket news now. The Cricket West Indies 30-man squad yesterday started its 3-week high-performance red ball training camp in St. Lucia in preparations for the upcoming Test series against South Africa. Now, after a month-long break after the Sri Lanka series, the camp provides an opportunity for established Test and developing players alike to sharpen and enhance their red ball skills. The camp will include 2 best versus best inter-squad matches as the West Indies look ahead to their final series in the ICC World Test Championship with 2 test matches against the Proteas in June. Most players attending have been involved in recent West Indies test squads and high-performance camps. A few players, however, will be receiving their first international training experience since the beginning of the pandemic, including Jamaican top-order batsman Paul Palmer. Test captain Craig Brathwaite and fast bowlers Kemar Roach and Alzari Joseph will not be attending as they are currently competing in the English County Championship and will return to the West Indies for the Test series if selected. Current world number 1 ranked Test all-rounder Jason Holder is being rested due to his workload across all formats of the game and will arrive in St. Lucia at the end of the month. The Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium will host both Test matches against South Africa, the first bilateral cricket series that they will have played in the Caribbean since 2010, with the first Test to be played on June 10 to 14 and the second from June 18 to 22. Jermaine Blackwood, Nkrumah Bonner, John Campbell, Marquino Mindley, and O'Shane Thomas are the other Jamaicans in the squad. Marnus Labuschagne is missing from the Australia Limited Overs squad for a tour of the West Indies starting next month. This after it was decided he would play out his current county stint with Glamorgan instead. Steve Smith, David Warner, and Pat Cummins were brought back into the 23-man extended squad. Batsmen Smith and Warner and paceman Cummins were among 7 players included who missed the tour of New Zealand in March, having already been selected for the latter aborted Test tour of South Africa. A vast preliminary squad for the tour includes the likes of Matthew Wade, Darky Short, Marcus Stoinis, and Michelle Swepson, all of whom missed out on Cricket Australia contracts in the annual list. Now, all players are to be vaccinated against COVID-19 ahead of their departure for the Caribbean in late June. Australia is scheduled to play 5 T20s in St. Lucia and 3 ODIs in Barbados between July 9 and 24. Their tours sandwiched between tours of the Caribbean by South Africa and Pakistan. On to basketball news. Stephen Curry scored a game-high 46 points en route to his second NBA scoring title. This as the Golden State Warriors held off the visiting Memphis Grizzlies 113-101 to claim the number 8 position in this week's play-in tournament. By virtue of their 6th straight win on a regular season home-ending homestand, the Warriors put themselves in a position of having to be beaten twice in order to be denied a spot in the 8-team Western Conference playoff draw. As the 8th seed, Golden State will tip off the play-in tournament on the road on Wednesday night, visiting the Los Angeles Lakers. The loss ended Memphis's 5-game winning streak and landed Grizzlies the number 9 spot in the play-in tournament, where they will host 10th seeded San Antonio on Wednesday as well. Curry completed his big game with 3 consecutive three-pointers, giving him 9 for the game and a league-best 337 threes for the season. He finished the season with a 32-point scoring average, claiming the league scoring title over Bradley Beal, who returned from a 3-game absence to score 25 points earlier yesterday to finish at 31.3 points per game. Beal helped the Washington Wizards to a 115-110 win over the Charlotte Hornets to secure the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks completed a resurgent regular season and clinched the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference by hanging on for a 96-92 win over the visiting Boston Celtics. The Phoenix Suns scored a 123-121 win over the San Antonio Spurs in the final regular season game for both teams. The Indiana Pacers earned a home game in the NBA's play-in tournament with a 125-113 thrashing of the Toronto Raptors in the regular season finale. They will host the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow night in the single eliminator 9-10 game. Now to end tonight's sports package, we present you with the play of the night, a good sequence of plays by the Brooklyn Nets.
Second difference, shot clock to game clock. Dotson loses it, walking the tightrope. Oh, Blake Griffin, razzle dazzle. Oh, next level. Kevin Durant, the rack attack, and one of the highlights of the year.
Play of the year in the regular season finale. Razzle dazzle flavor and bring in the spice. Oh. This is just too good. Astonishing. The bop, the power. Uh-oh, get ready. Playoffs are coming.
And those are the stories making sports news tonight. We now head back to the news desk with Tamara Mikhail.